Uh, but yeah, I'm pretty much ready to get cracking.
All right, I'm gonna do a cheeky little intro here, unless you feel like taking the intro.
Nah, man, you go for it. You go for the intro.
You sure? You sure, man? You sure you don't want it?
Dude, I can't jump onto the show first time and take the intro. It's
Yeah, all right.
rude.
That's
The
that's that's fair.
audacity I have to have.
That's fair. That's it's more of a next week kind of thing. I get you. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, got you.
All right, let's crack into it, I suppose. All right, welcome back, everyone. Here for Moonward Games with this time my lovely assistant Rhett. Not Pia today. Pia's away. Rhett, how you doing?
Hey guys, what's going on? Brett here.
Just got like a little zombie interruption at the start. Um,
It,
yeah. So I think we'll talk more on this as we go in. But Rhett's one of our front end developers here and Minecraft enthusiast. So
yeah.
yeah, I think Minecraft wise, what's our plan today? We're gonna run around, go through the Nether is sort of the idea.
Yeah, I think getting a Nether fortress could be, beneficial to everyone in this little Minecraft world here. So probably the way to go, I reckon.
Yep. All right, let's get that.
It's
Let's get
starting
that
place.
underway. And thankfully, do you reckon you could cook us up a flint and steel? And
Ooh, I can.
I'll I'll get this obsidian in order because we already had this sitting here. Yeah. So I guess like I mentioned, Red is one of our front end developers here. So I guess Red, you want to give like a little intro on what you do, where you've come from, what sort of stuff you're working
Um,
on.
yeah, so I do a lot of TypeScripts with React Native development. So the front end of mobile apps mostly. A little bit of sort of web development mixed in there, so React, um, and a little bit of Kotlin most recently
Yeah. Yeah.
mixed in
Nice.
there. So yeah, big on the app development, a little bit of web development, but yeah, mostly all front end, and yeah, that's about it.
The front end king. You do want to move into a bit of back end. I've heard though. Oh god, where are we?
Ah, absolutely not. Yeah, this is a rough spawn.
Yeah, this is
This
a
is
tough spawn.
this is not ideal.
That's all right.
See what we can do with
Well,
this.
yeah, we'll work with what we got, mate. I'm just gonna patch up some of that lava right next to the portal because I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing Pia enter the portal and then jump straight in the lava. So
Immediately died. So
yeah,
bad.
so I'm just gonna patch some of that up a bit. Just make things just childproof the area a little bit.
Nice.
All right, cool. So you're working mostly on the front end side. What kind of before Moonwood? What was sort of your journey that led you here? I guess.
I was doing a diploma. Well, I did a degree in psychology firstly,
Mhm.
but turns out that I didn't enjoy that work very much. The degree was very, very interesting. Sort of teaches you a lot of interesting topics that you always really think about, but you never look into.
Mhm.
But the work itself was just not for me. I find it, yeah, it was just not for me.
So
Anyway,
did you
so
actually
I did a
work in like
diploma.
a psychology role then?
So I was not exactly. So I was working in a psychology clinic, just doing admin work.
Mm.
I did a little bit of like shadowing and stuff for uni,
Yeah, right.
um, but that was enough of a front-facing role. You could see
See what was going on.
what goes on in that role. Yeah, so it was pretty obvious that it wasn't for me. So got out of there, did a diploma of IT at Coder Academy, and yeah, here I am, starting my journey into software development.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah,
I
pretty
guess
happy with the change.
yeah, for sure. And you're sort of one of our now more senior, I guess, front end developers, which is super exciting. I'm interested in sort of the also where'd you go? I've sort of just been childproofing the area. You're
I'm
out
up.
of here.
I'm up here. Yeah, I'm up here.
Oh, true. Is there actually a way out, or are we like just kind of?
Nah, I'm looking for a way out. I'm blocked off, and it's terribly dangerous in here.
It is very dangerous in here. What is that?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this?
Well,
What
where?
is this?
What? The rock we're on, or are you
No, down
looking
there.
at something else? Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can ride them.
What the hell? I've never seen these
I,
before,
they,
man.
I'm pretty sure like zombie pigmen ride them, and I'm pretty sure there's a way you can as well, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't
I
know.
don't want to mess with that. I'm not about that right now.
Way too scary.
Yeah, this is too much for me, man. I'm information overload. I don't actually know what we do
Yeah.
about this. Can we even? Is there even anywhere we can go?
I think what we're gonna have to do is just like pick a wall and just dig through it in a direction till we get out the other side.
Yeah, right.
I think is the only thing we can do.
Let's do that. I'm gonna grab some blocks from home just so I don't need to keep mining stuff. I can block off our path and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super interested in sort of the journey from you switching from psychology to IT. Obviously, two very different fields, and this is something
Yeah.
me and Pia talk about a lot on this show as well. Is like the ability to pick it up. So I want to hear like a little bit about your journey in making the switch, your like time at Coda, what sort of time frames we talking, how easy was it to pick up, stuff like that.
So in regards like making the switch, I mean, it was pretty uh I don't know, it was like I think I got pretty lucky that I switched to coding. I
Mm.
definitely could have sort of fumbled around for a bit longer than I did. It was just lucky that I stumbled upon coding. But when I started, after I started to learn coding, sort of at Coder Academy, I picked it up pretty quickly. I was learning a bit before that, sort of just teaching myself to see if I enjoyed coding. I was doing coding in Unreal Engine on
Oh,
like
sick.
in C++. Plus plus. Yeah, yeah. I was just like it was the most awfully made like little mini game that anyone would have ever seen. Like absolutely shocking. I look back on it and like there was zero clean code principles. I like redid every single function. Oh, it was awful. But anyway, but like whilst I was doing that, I had heaps and heaps of fun. And compared to like, my day in the psychology clinic,
Mm.
like like way more fun. So I immediately knew that's what I wanted to at least try out.
Yeah,
Which is why I went into the Code Academy, tried it out, and turned out, yes, good fun, and definitely what I wanted to keep doing.
it is pretty good fun. I can confirm. Also,
Yeah,
which direction
yeah.
did you head in? I'm kind of walking aimlessly here.
I went like up these stairs here. I made like a little stairs in this like
Oh, I
side
see.
bit.
I see.
Are you back at the thing? Yeah. I reached like actual nether rock, so I think I'm going in the right direction, but
Okay, sweet.
I don't know.
I'll follow along.
Anyway, just gonna keep going uh, this way.
Like you can, yeah. Right.
Bring torches by any chance?
I have some. Yeah.
Might be worth putting down along the way, but I don't know. We'll just keep going until we get out of this.
All right, cool. So you sort of went through. Do you need?
Oh, I think I might just go back this way because it's like going back to that other sort of rock.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
sure.
Jesus. And
Um,
diagonal's the way to go.
so you sort of went through Coda and got here. What was sort of the time frame for a complete switch from working in a psychology clinic to working at Moonward now, writing apps?
What was the time frame? I think the Coder Academy course took me 6 months. Like it was a
That's right.
fast tracked course, so
Yeah.
they condensed like a fair bit of stuff into that 6 months. I think it was meant to be like a year and a half diploma that they condensed into 6 months, so maybe like a year diploma or something like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was 6 months from doing the course to applying for a job and getting a job. But then when I started the job, obviously because I had only been properly coding for 6 months, I had no idea what I was doing. But learning on the job for me personally is definitely the best way to learn anything. So um, with after actually getting a job, probably about maybe another month or two before I was, competently writing some actual code that I was proud of.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's like if you talk to any other field, that is incredibly short, right? Like if you
Oh
went
yeah.
do you want this? Here, just take this.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, go get him, King. That's like incredibly
Yeah.
short. If you went the other way, if you went from being from working in software or working in programming to psychology, like I don't think there's an option for you to take like essentially a year and a half kind of minimum journey
Oh no,
to get there.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like where I was in my psychology journey. So what I was would have been technically like a qualified counselor because I had a degree. But to be a psychologist, you then need to do honors and then a master's, another 3. So I was really only halfway to being like a full psychologist. But then you can go even further. You can be a psychiatrist, which pretty much has a medical degree on top of that 7 years of psychology. So, yeah, if I were to be like the best of the best in the field of psychology, it would have probably taken me plus, 10 years minimum, compared to, sort of software that you can get into and start to hone your skills from day one.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, I nearly went down. That was terrifying.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, geez, I can hear you dying.
Yeah. I think I'm getting a bit of lag right now, but I'm safe. It's okay. I think what you were saying, like I didn't actually know you did Unreal Engine work. That's like a perfect example of what you can do with this sort of industry. You just jumped into Unreal Engine while you were still at the clinic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, I think it was just after the clinic, but yeah, pretty close around the same time.
Yeah, so you just jumped in and you just gave it a go. And like, I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist, but I don't think I could just randomly start seeing patients. I don't think I could start just seeing patients to try it out. I feel like that's not an option for me.
Oh no, like you'd get arrested for one because it's illegal.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, like you can't, you just have no idea what you're doing. You'd only cause damage.
Absolutely. And I feel like
you'd learn nothing.
It's like that with a lot of
coding,
fields as well. Like, I can't become an accountant. I can't go start cooking books. I guess I could play around with some practice questions or something, but like you actually got hands-on experience with something you could do potentially in a real workplace.
Yeah, exactly.
Working with Unreal Engine. It's super cool.
100%. And it was an awesome way to just find out whether or not it was for me, like, it was pretty quick as soon as I started to deal with that and to make, like, even though the game was super shitty, making something with code I found just amazingly fun. So it was pretty quick turnaround from going, yeah, no, psychology is not what I want to be doing.
It would be a fun bit of content would be like getting everyone to show like their first code project.
Yuck. Well, the thing is, the game didn't look that bad because I don't know if you've done any Unreal Engine development, but there's these things called like the packages are called like mega scans or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so you can like really easily create like a beautiful world that's in like 4K graphics that will absolutely destroy your computer. But it's the code that was absolutely shocking. Because it's Unreal Engine, the game looks good. Yeah, the tricky part was awful. Anyway, I'm at I don't know if you can see where I've gone here. I'm at a nether fortress right now.
I can see that. I'm just working on child-proofing this path so that we're good to go for the future. So yeah, I'll catch up with you shortly. But if you want to start heading in, be my guest.
Yeah, I am heading in, but I also hear a ghast, and I have your diamond pickaxe, so wish me luck.
I know, like, we can go get some diamonds. I feel like we could knock that out pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be right.
Put our heads together.
Those diamonds don't stand a chance.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, no, that's super cool. So I think the next thing I sort of wanted to ask was what like your day looks like at Moonward. I know a lot of people, particularly people who like follow us, are interested in, well, either from a client perspective, interested in what we do, or from a potential developer, like someone who might have been in a very similar position to yourself, 2 years ago, and like what the result is, right? Like what you actually end up doing every day. So yeah, if you get into the office, what's the first thing you do?
First thing I do is probably, I want to say check emails to sound good, but I leave that until I feel like checking my emails. But
I know. Never seen you except one of my calendar invites.
Yeah, dude, I got it out of my way to get on those calendar invites. Anyway, so First thing I do is usually, well, normally I've sort of gotten a plan from yesterday of what like needs to be worked on. Like
Hmm.
I'll finish off the day knowing that tomorrow I'm gonna have to whip up this or something like that. If I don't have anything like that already on my mind, whatever project I've given the least love to throughout the week, I'll probably look at like the orbit sheet, like the list of things that just need to be done,
Yep.
and then just start sort of chunking through them. So yeah, I guess just sort of getting straight into it as soon as I get to work.
Yeah.
But also in that I do sort of check the emails and the Slack and stuff like that. If something terrible has happened, what's the thing? If something terrible happened like in the last 12 hours since I've been in the office or whatever, then I'll sort that out. But if it's a standard day, yeah, I'll just sort of check the list of stuff that needs to be done and get cracking on the project that I've given the least love to.
All right. And so, what is getting cracking? Like, what's that entail? If you're working on a project every
Um,
day, what kind of work is that?
well, if it's bug fixing, then I might just be sort of running the app, seeing what's going on with this bug. Just seeing if I can replicate it first and foremost.
Hmm.
If it's creating like creating a new feature, um, I guess it's just, oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, I found a blaze spawner here. I'm gonna have
Nice.
to block that off.
It's good. You want to make a
Uh,
quick little blaze farm, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just
Just
whip
knock
that
that
up.
out in like five.
Um, nah, these blazes are dangerous, bro. They're gonna one shot me. Um, oh, pigment as well. What was I saying? So yeah, if I'm making a new feature, I'll normally just like as long as everything is outlined properly, then I can just sort of get straight into it. And like by that, I mean as long as the designs for it are there, as long as the back end for it is there. Um,
Which you've written.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's there. It's there if you've written it, right?
Oh, absolutely not. No, 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 no. Um, oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I'll whip up. I'll just do whatever needs to be done to get it ready. If that is, speak with the back end person or speak with the designer or the product owner to, get an idea of what the clients are actually talking about when they ask for this.
Mhm.
And then just, yeah, start sort of building it from scratch normally.
Yeah.
If I don't know about the feature, it's becoming increasingly more rare, the more I do. So, but if I don't know about the feature, then I will ask people. Because being in office, it's pretty good. You don't have to figure out everything from scratch. So asking people first and foremost, and then if not, yeah, just have to get into research and sort of figuring it out.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it's recently it's been a lot of getting straight into it because I've learned React Native and TypeScript a lot more than when I started, obviously.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So it's a lot of, I guess, collaboration, actually working on features or bug fixes, working with different stakeholders, whether that be, like you said, designers and back-end developers and product owners, project management,
Yeah,
the actual clients themselves. You do actually jump in to a meeting with clients.
yeah. So yeah, actually, well, yeah, I forgot to mention if I do have a client meeting on, I'll be jumping into that.
Exactly. So yeah, you definitely getting along with a lot of people. Is this dude's gonna beat me up, isn't he?
I
Oh,
don't know. I'm too scared in here. I need to build a nice ladder down.
I'm gonna go back and see if we got some gold. I'll try and make us some butter shoes because I've just encountered a pigman he's gonna go off on me.
Some butter shoes. What's
Yeah,
that?
gold shoes, man. Gold boots.
What? Do they not go for you if you've got gold boots on?
If you're wearing anything gold, they don't attack you now.
Oh, what? Did not know about that.
What a pleb. This guy doesn't know anything.
Such a
Um, yeah, cool. So I guess I hope that gives like a reasonable rundown. There's a lot going on for sure. And Rhett's day, he's a busy man, working on lots of different
Busy,
projects.
busy.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely something to keep up with. How do you go about sort of managing projects and making sure they all get the time they like require and deserve?
Um, it's a bit of a tough question because it's pretty, it's pretty fluid. Like you can't be wedded to doing something for a day. You've got
Hmm.
to be on your feet. Like, yeah, you just sort of speak with the product owners, and it's a bit of just gauging uh, how badly that they want this feature, which means that they're probably getting a lot of emails from the clients saying that they need this feature. So if the product owner is really telling you that this needs to be done ASAP, then it probably needs to be done ASAP.
Yeah.
Uh, but if there's none of that, and I'm sort of just going on my own volition, I try and just space things out to give a bit of love to every project that I've got evenly. Um, I like to spend a fair bit of time on Kotlin because
Hmm.
it's fun learning a new language. But I do have to put in a lot of time into the others as well. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just yeah, a bit of a balancing act.
And that's a really good segue actually because I wanted to talk about our app Fault a little bit with you. For those who don't
Yeah.
know, Fault is an app that we've written in house and we've taken on in house to track bugs for software. So very very topical for what we do every day. Um, but we noticed sort of a missing point in the market and definitely a product we could use in our daily work lives. So we've sort of gone about developing this app, and it's really our foray into a lot of different things, but probably most exciting is full native development. And so with that, we've done what is it? Kotlin for Android and Swift for iOS. Rhett is our Kotlin developer,
Yeah.
so he's writing the Android version of Fault. So yeah, if you catch the streams, Rhett's streaming probably most weeks now. Hey.
Yeah, actually, I've become sort of the main streamer. I think I'm streaming again this week. Actually,
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the
just there's
plug.
a lot of there's a lot of new projects going. I'm not on any of the new projects. I'm in the orbit scheme, so my deadlines aren't as sort of specific
Mm,
as a lot of the people's in orbit. So I've had more time to work on things like Fault, and so
yeah,
yeah, been doing a bit more streaming.
yeah. You've taken the torch from me. Fault was all I did for a while. I was the Fault guy, the streamer guy.
Oh
Um,
man, oh yeah,
Fault man. Yeah, I'm coming to you with some butter shoes. It's taken me a long time to get to this
nice.
point. Um, Yeah. So tell me a bit about sort of picking up Kotlin. And actually, before we get there, I'd love to hear what Kotlin is, how it's different from what React Native is. What React Native is. Those are probably a lot of questions that I was just assuming knowledge of that people actually won't know.
Yeah. And honestly, they're great questions. And I want to firstly say that I'm by no means a Kotlin professional.
Mm.
Um, while, I've been developing this app for quite a while, the only language that I've known before Kotlin is like JavaScript, so with the TypeScript and things. Um, yeah, you've got a nice little staircase going there. I've got this nice little escalator sort of looking thing here.
Great, great. I'm just trying
Easy
to, like
job.
I said, childproof this, and while you're mining it out, especially because
Very nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
I'll
especially
wall
with the
up
lag, I don't want
these
to
things.
fall off this thing.
Very fair. We'll chuck those little blocks in there.
Mm.
But yeah, so by no means a Kotlin professional, but I'm definitely getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
But the first language that I knew before Kotlin was JavaScript. And with JavaScript, there's almost no such thing as classes. Before getting into Kotlin, the only experience with classes that I really had was my time using Ruby on Rails in Coder Academy.
Hmm.
So my knowledge of classes was abysmal, to say the least. But that's all Kotlin is. You've got to have very specific classes. doing very specific things. All of the APIs and things like that need to be classed out. If that's how you say it, before you actually are able to do anything with the data. Because if you haven't got your classes right, then the language just has no idea what you're talking about. It's trying to just put it's not even JSON objects. It's just random. I think it's bytecode into different forms, and without actually telling it what's going on, it just has no idea. So it was an intense change going from JavaScript to Kotlin. Uh, Definitely way harder, but there's a huge sort of switch in the way that you think about just how stuff works, how programming works when you go from something like JavaScript to Kotlin. Because while it is way harder, now that I am sort of getting the hang of it, I really want to go back and clean up all the original stuff that I did, because you can, with not too much effort, make an application that's 100 times cleaner than you ever would be able to with JavaScript. Just if you get your classes right and you're able to make classes that extend other classes, and yeah, it's all about the classes. I've said classes a couple of times. But, yeah, nice, thank you. But yeah, so the moral of the story is it's very hard, but it's a different way of thinking about how to build an application. Oh, that cross down there is where the place waters are, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, now that I have the knowledge, definitely my next application is going to be a lot cleaner, a lot easier to make. But
promise,
yeah, it was hard to learn. That is a promise. No, I like it sort of it makes a lot more sense. But it's definitely a complete swap going from JavaScript, where you can just do whatever the hell you like and throw things into functions and objects and just get away with murder.
Yeah, you do absolutely.
And then to have to, yeah, and then you have to type out everything perfectly, or else just gonna crash. And yeah, it's been full on, but no, I'm getting the hang of it, and it's a lot of fun. I'm learning a new language. It's really, really hard, but it's really rewarding. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Absolutely, super exciting. Jeez, just on Minecraft over here. If I put a Nether portal down like up here, what do you think could happen?
I think it makes a new portal like in the real world, so we'll just like come out somewhere random. Oh my god, he just sniped the hell out of you.
Pretty sure he was going for you, and you just kind of like left me for dead.
Yeet.
I reckon it's worth a shot. I might do that. I gotta go back to get that.
You have enough, Steve?
No, I gotta go get it. Kind of lame, but it would be nice to not have to do that whole run every time.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I might start trying to murder these guys, but anyway, so carry on.
Okay, no, you murder. I'm gonna go get obsidian. I'm gonna try that.
Onions.
Yeah, so I guess what you're talking about, for those who are maybe a little more in the know, is object-oriented programming.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it is like kind of that next step that you take in a programmer's sort of learning journey, I guess. It's once you understand the core fundamentals of writing programs and writing software, you can take it a step further with this huge like object-oriented paradigm. But it is really a challenge to take on. I don't know many people who didn't kind of get blown away by it when introduced to it first. So like, absolutely not surprised that happened here with your little Kotlin journey. But it's really nice to see that you've come out the other end like realizing the benefit of it, because a lot of people don't really get that. They're just like, well, I can do it way faster in JavaScript. Like, oh, my functions there, it's like not strict and stuff. But the strictness is actually like extremely helpful for the life of a piece of software, like overall. And I think once you get the foresight to be able to see that, you can like really move forward as a developer, like a huge amount.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm just defeating these blazes in here. Yeah, no, 100%. But that it is very hard to see that if you don't do it for long enough. Like, it's I've been doing Kotlin for a few months now, and it's only now that I'm sort of realizing uh, how it is useful. Because if I were to be able to have this knowledge from the start, then yeah, my entire code base could probably be 50% or maybe less of what it is now. Just if I got my classes right and yeah, got my object oriented knowledge up to date. Oh, I'm gonna die here.
Oh, I just realized you have the diamond pick, so I can't even mine the obsidian.
I will run back because I'm about to die anyway.
Alright. Um, yeah, and so I guess I'll explain a little bit about like another huge benefit of it, and this is more so just for our specific context and use case. When we normally write applications like mobile apps that are going to go to iOS and Android, we write in React Native because it lets us write one code base that gets turned into a native application for iOS and Android. But what we've done here with Fault is where we have two separate code bases that are creating essentially the same app, just on different platforms for iOS and Android. So that might sound like not a benefit, but I think overall we get a lot of problems with like that I guess transposing of React Native code to native iOS and Android applications, and we don't have to worry about that here. Like I don't know too much about your sort of work on Fault in this aspect, but have you had a lot of problems sort of like building the thing, getting it to run, work on your device, work on your Android simulators?
Uh, so with Fault, do you mean like just running it natively?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So uh, it is like there were a lot of bugs when I was first doing it, which I've mostly cleaned up now. But that's sort of just because of knowledge of the language, not anything to do with the actual language itself.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the question? Sorry, how am I
Well, do you think
to
it's
answer this?
like React Native can be annoying in that aspect because you're constantly dealing with build issues because we have to sort of transport our code from React Native to iOS,
Right.
React Native to an Android build, and like, do you not have to worry about those things with Fault?
Right, yeah, no, definitely. Building it is sort of it's absolute. Like if it doesn't build, it's because you've got something very specific wrong with your I'll give you this. It's because you've got something very specific wrong with your code base, and it usually tells you on the like there's logcat, which is the metro of Kotlin, which is the God, how do you explain metro?
Metro is more than just
running.
like logs, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the place that you see the logs. I don't know. Anyway,
That's fine.
but yeah, so if you've got an error with running a Kotlin program, it's very specific, and it'll tell you straight away, and then you can go and sort that error out. Whereas, yeah, a lot of the time compiling React Native into a build can be annoying because you've just really got no idea what's going on, and the errors that it gives you can be abstract, and yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, running Kotlin natively is awesome.
Yeah, and it makes sense, right? Are you going to jump back into the Nether? What's your plan right now?
I don't know. What are we doing?
I was just going to go try
I
and get
got
some
two
obsidian,
blaze rods.
see if my obsidian cheese will work. Well, what do we need the blaze rods for? It's for ender pearls,
We
right?
need to start killing Enderman. Yeah, get those ender pearls.
All right. Well, I reckon I'm going to go try and grab some obsidian real quick. Might jump down into the cave. We could probably do with some diamonds, to be honest. I wouldn't mind hiking up our diamond production, maybe getting a little enchanting table, stuff like that.
It could be on.
Yeah, we have a bunch of cows, so we should probably like slaughter them for their leather. There's actually, you know those like
Oh.
red islands that like just have a bunch of cows on them? You've
Oh
seen
yeah.
those? There's one of those like not too far,
Uh,
so we can go there and murder as well.
Unreal. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, what was I saying? So I guess you got a few arrows in you, man. Not looking too
Yeah,
good.
I got shot.
Yeah. Um,
No good.
I think it takes a lot of the pressure off because obviously there's a reason that React Native is so popular, and it's because someone has gone in and done the work the creators of React Native have gone in and done the work for actually like moving our code from one code base to two completely different code bases and like compiled code bases, and that's like really impressive and extremely useful to us on the day to day. You know, we wouldn't be able to operate without React Native, but that being said, it does not come without its challenges. Like it is an extremely impressive feat, but you know, it can only go so far before you start seeing.
Yeah, it's an extremely impressive feat, but yeah, it's super complex and super difficult to get perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't fault I don't fault the guy who the team who created React Native. It's incredibly challenging, but you know, we're gonna have to face those challenges going forward, I suppose. Okay, cool. So my question was, with Fault, you obviously were tasked with sort of picking up Kotlin. It's not a language other than some, you know, minor uses and a little bit of research from our tech lead, Anthony. It wasn't something that we as a business had under our skill set. So you were sort of tasked with picking that up and learning it and working on that as part of your like work on Fault. It wasn't just getting Fault done, it was also learning Kotlin. How did you find that process? Obviously we're always learning. Like, I don't think a day goes by where a developer isn't learning something new and implementing something new into their like daily work, but this takes that to another level, and I just wanted to know like how you found that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't sort of any different. Like I said, you know, I definitely learn more on the job compared to studying on books and stuff like that. Like doing, you know, during that coding course that I did for 6 months, I think I doubled my coding skill in the first month of having an actual job. You know, just personally, I learn much more when I have a set out task and I've got to figure it out for myself. So, you know, that learning Kotlin like this is probably the best way that I could possibly have to learn Kotlin. Because I've got a design that I am building. You know, I've got to build it. I've got to learn how to do the things that the design wants. So yeah, the drive is there because, you know, obviously it's my job that I'm getting paid to do 8 hours a day. And yeah, it's definitely just the best way for me personally to learn something is to just do it on the job. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it was good. It was really good.
I think you're not alone there either. I definitely sort of feel a lot better learning things by doing instead of, you know, sitting in a classroom reading documentation. Oh, who wants to read documentation?
It's just like I when you read documentation, most of the time I'm thinking in my head, you know, what is even what's the point of this? You know, when could I ever use this in a real scenario? And oftentimes it's something that's going to be super useful. It just doesn't click for me without that real world example. I need practical application of learning something to be able to understand it, which a classroom just doesn't give you. They give you a sort of assignment where you've got to explain what a something is, and it just doesn't mean anything. I don't pick anything up from that. So yeah.
For sure. So how did you find, I guess, like Kotlin specifically? How long do you think it took before you were like really like in the know? You felt confident doing what you were doing every day, like having to work on Fault?
Feeling confident with Kotlin. That's still to come, I think. No, I'm definitely, I'm definitely still learning. You know, don't get me wrong there. But I think there was almost like there was a week or two that I put onto it where I sort of had done some research at home, and then I wanted to put it into work, put it into use when I got to work. So, yeah, there was sort of a light bulb moment when I realized that these classes that I keep that I'm being forced to work with, you know, they're not there because Cotlin's trying to be an idiot, trying to be a dick to you. They're there because they want to help you. They want to make this code base cleaner. They want to make the program more efficient. So I started leaning into them, and in that, by doing that, learning a lot more about the language and the intricacies of it, and definitely getting a bit better with it when I've sort of started to lean into it a bit more and into the classes. It's hard to let go of the JavaScript way of life after that being all you know for the first bit of your coding career. But there's more to coding than JavaScript.
Wow, that's the quote I want to take. There's more to coding than JavaScript. Gabe is definitely making a TikTok out of that. Holy.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, you had that one prepared.
No, I didn't. It was on the spot, but you can quote me on it. But no, it's 100% true, and I don't know. It's hard to explain if first of all, if JavaScript's all you've worked with, you haven't actually tried another language, or if you just don't know coding at all. But JavaScript's a very unique language, and it's an awesome language. Absolutely love it. But there's other languages out there that are way cooler and way more efficient and way cleaner, but are way harder as well. So
I feel like you were very fair and gave JavaScript a little bit of love there. If this were Anthony, he'd be totally the other way.
Oh no, No, oh, dude, no, don't get me wrong. I still love a bit of JavaScript.
Respect.
So it's so easy. Like you can do whatever you want in there.
Yeah, I do have to agree. Like I kind of agree with both of you. JavaScript is a terrible language in the fact that it's like it's not safe. It's built on very like shaky principles, but like it is incredibly fast to pick up, do something quickly with. It's sort of like Python in that respect, except Python is much more structured and much like more reliable, I suppose.
Yeah, they're both just sort of beginner languages, I guess. Like I definitely suggest learning JavaScript first, but also you definitely it would be very easy to pick up some bad habits JavaScript, which I definitely did, and are now being sorted out by Kotlin classes.
Yeah, mate, I know. I've seen some of those PRs. Oh, jeez.
Oh, no, dude. Wait till we start doing PRs on the Kotlin pushes. God, you're going to be seeing some classes, goddamn.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. Oh my God, I can't believe I just like went on a 10-minute trek like in the caves to find some lava. There's literally lava next to our house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, but if I were to go back and do the start of Fault again, it'd definitely be a much cleaner. We'll refactor that at some point in time.
You could, man. You could. I went and rewrote Fault 2 days. 2 days is all it took me.
True. I could. I feel like I'm almost at that point. Like I don't think it would take too long. So I don't know.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for sort of sitting with me today.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And sharing your experience and picking up code and all that, Rhett. So thanks for hanging out and thanks for pushing us all closer to killing that Ender Dragon, I hope.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get you on again next week. P is still away, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Too easy. Thank you.